Well, in the year and a half we've been working together, a lot of people refer to Tracey and I. They say they're like peas and carrots. Well, welcome back to the Farm Monitor, and welcome to another edition of Meals from the Field. I am Peas.
I am Carrots.
That is Carrots, aka Dr. Tracey Brigman. So no peas this month. So yes, no peas, but we are doing carrots.
We are doing carrots.
Yes. So what's the recipes that we have?
So the first one that we're going to do is a really simple carrot fries. What I did, I have here 1 pound of carrots that I cut.
Okay.
You know, they're not exact matchsticks, and because it doesn't have to be pretty. I took a carrot, I cut it in half. This way, lengthwise, and then I put the flat side down and cut it in half again, and you just keep cutting in half until you get kind of matchstick size. Again, it doesn't have to be beautiful, just all about the same size. So I have my 1 pound of French fried carrots, and I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Okay.
I do have my oven preheating to 425 because I'm gonna roast these. And then that's a half a teaspoon of ground cumin.
Pinch?
Nope, you can do all of the ground cumin. And then a half a teaspoon of paprika. And all of that as well.
Okay.
And then I have some kosher salt and some black pepper that you are gonna season to taste. So a pinch, and you can always add more. I like going fairly light.
Okay.
So that, if you want more, you can add more after you cook them.
All right, little pinch. There we go.
And again, we're just going to give another stir to make sure that there's no pockets of all salt or all pepper. Yep, that one doesn't want to mix in. There we go. Once I feel like everything's well coated and evenly dispersed, I'm going to put this on a parchment paper lined sheet pan. I love parchment paper because it makes cleanup so easy. For other things it won't stick. This obviously wouldn't stick anyway, but I'm going to pour this out and just make sure that they're evenly dispersed for even cooking. That looks pretty good. I'm going to put these then in the oven for 20 minutes until they're done. I don't want them super mushy. I want a little bit of crunch to them because we're going to make a dip. So that is 1/3 of a cup of mayonnaise.
Okay.
And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of chipotle sauce.
Same
Yep,
thing?
Yep,
Okay.
all of it. And then this is the juice from a fresh lime.
All right.
And then you're just gonna mix that together.
In full disclosure, that dipping sauce, a little tart, which is a really good transition because we are going to make a tart.
That's
Carrot
right.
tart?
We're gonna do a caramelized carrot and onion tart. So this is gonna look really fancy, but it is super easy to make, and that's why I love it. So what I have here is a sheet of puff pastry that I thawed out overnight in the refrigerator. So it comes in the freezer section. I thawed it out, and then I rolled it out because when you purchase it, it comes in trifold. So I thawed it, opened it up, rolled it out to about 11 by 11. If you're a little bit longer than that, shorter, yeah, that's fine. And I do have it on a piece of parchment paper so that it won't stick. So to make my tart look pretty, I'm going to take a paring knife and about a 1/2 inch around the edges, I'm gonna make a shallow cut. I don't wanna go all the way through, but you'll see when it comes out, it'll puff up the sides to make it look really pretty. So again, 1/2 inch on each side if you don't have to measure it, close enough, right? So once I've done that, again, not all the way through, I'm gonna take what I have here is an egg wash. So it's 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of water. I only wanna do my edges with the egg wash. If you do not have an egg wash, you can do melted butter and brush melted butter along the sides. So once I have the egg wash just on the border, I'm gonna put that in a preheated 425-degree oven for about 10 minutes. While that is cooking, for those 10 minutes, I'm gonna start working on my toppings. So over here, this is a 1/2 pound of carrots that I sliced into 1/4 inch slices. I added 1 tablespoon of olive oil and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I sauteed them for about 10 minutes. You can see that they have started to caramelize. Okay, so once they're caramelized, I am going to add 1 tablespoon of vegetable stock. And then I'm gonna cover it and let that cook on medium for about 5 minutes. So I have it caramelized. I want to make sure that my carrots are done. So this will help finish cooking the center of it. So 5 minutes for my carrots. And then you'll see on this stovetop, this is 2 medium onions that we sliced very thin in half-moon shapes. And I added 2 tablespoons of butter. And I sauteed it. You can see they're translucent. They're starting to turn brown. Once I get to that point, I am going to add 2 tablespoons of vegetable stock. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And then I'm just gonna cook that until the liquid gets absorbed. So you can see we have the nice egg wash. It has puffed beautifully. What we're gonna do now is we wanna leave the edges puffed so it'll look pretty.
Okay.
But I want you to gently push down the center. The first thing that I'm gonna put on here is, this is 1 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. So I want you to put it in the middle, not on the borders, and even it out as best you can.
Okay.
So we have our 1 cup of grated Parmesan, and then we're going to add our 2 medium onions that we sauteed. And then we have the star of the show, our carrots. And then the last thing that we're gonna do, once I have everything spread out evenly, I like using a pastry brush to do this. You're gonna kind of drizzle olive oil over the top of it. And then we're gonna put this in the oven, and again at 425, and bake for an additional 10 to 15 minutes until it's nice and brown.
2 somewhat healthy recipes, healthy carrot fries.
That's right.
Carrot tart. 2 recipes you can find by logging on to farm-monitor.com, going to our recipe section, and getting all the lovely ingredients there. That's why they call it Meals from the Field, everything coming to us here from Georgia. So, Tracey, as always, it looks absolutely delicious. Can't wait to dive into this. Hopefully you get to dive into yours as well. And we thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you again next month.